I actually made it my mission to bring recognition to all the underrated epic champions in the game because without them it wouldn't be the same, so let's jump straight into it. Hello everyone, I'm Skratch, welcome to the channel. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Apologies, we're a bit late with today's video. My little one actually had his 2 months vaccines and my god, he is not a happy fella. And just seeing him going all in into crying today for the very first time, I gotta say was like, wow, I felt his pain, you know, let me just put it like that. In today's video, guys, I want to cover another underrated epic champion. And you know what, how I mentioned it at the beginning, you've seen me, I played a bit with the words there, because why not? I'm gonna make it my mission, guys, to kind of like bring recognition to a lot of these champions that a lot of people are kind of like just instantly dusting. Tuhak the Wanderer. Now we are currently on the test server because I can just move gear around and just don't care about the mess that I'm creating because this resets every single time. So that's the main reason why I'm on the test server. This is a pretty solid champion. Void Affinity, epic, of course, how I mentioned, attack based from the Orc faction. Now this champion will bring you a lot of value all around. When we are talking about skills, with A1 he has a chance to increase the cooldown of one of the target skills by 1 turn. If his HP is less than 50%, he's gonna increase the cooldown of all of the target skills by 1 turn, which is definitely pretty powerful when we are talking about crowd control. Attacks one enemy 2 times. He's a pretty good contender to be used in a Fire Knight progression as well. With the A2, Whirl of Battle on a 3-turn cooldown attacks all enemies. Fully booked 100% chance of placing a decreased speed for 2 turns. Also places an increased speed buff on this champion for 2 turns. Heals the champion by 50% of the damage inflicted if he is under 50% HP. So a lot of things in his kit are kind of like benefiting him to be under 50% HP basically. He's kind of like doing more crazy things. With the A3, Clever Brutality. And this is one of my favorite skills that he has. On a 4-turn cooldown, attacks one enemy, steals 50% of the target's turn meter, has a 100% chance of placing a stun debuff for 2 turns. Steals 100% of the target's turn meter if the champion has less than 50% HP. Of course, like, why wouldn't he do that? On the passive, decreases the damage taken by this champion by 20% when their HP drops below 60%. He has an attack aura for all battles, 22%, which is pretty interesting all around. And I built him on a lethal and a perception set. He has pretty good multipliers actually, so he's definitely not a champion to kind of like just put on the side and be like, well, you know what, he's not gonna do any damage. So if we head over to AftershockUnited.gg, head over to the tier list, we're gonna be able to kind of like check his multipliers. Now, I haven't rated the champion myself on the tier list. This is still a lot of work in progress, but basically on the A1 has a 1.9 attack with a double hit, which is almost making him a 4.0, so a 3.8 in total. With the A2, which is the AoE, has a 3.75, fairly decent. With the A3 has a 6.3 multiplier, which is definitely very solid. So he will bring in some damage. Now his base attack is not too crazy, don't expect him to go all in Baron mode, but he's gonna do a pretty good job. So total stats on the champion, we have 32k HP, 4859 attack, 218 speed, 100 crit rate, 239 crit damage, 316 accuracy. Now probably you're wondering, Skratch, this build is a bit odd comparing him with other builds that you are showcasing us. I haven't focused everything on attack, guys, because I want to prioritize speed and accuracy on this champion. He's gonna help me in dungeon progression, he's gonna help me on Doom Tower waves if I'm struggling there, and of course he can be used on many different bosses in the game. I'm gonna leave that part for a different video when we are talking about the Doom Tower, so you're gonna probably hear me covering it in the next few days. But basically these are the stats that I have on the champion. This is the weapon right here. You see, I prioritize to have quite a bit of speed. The helmet, we have the shield, no speed on that one unfortunately. We still gotta get a full crit rate, crit damage gloves, attack chest piece. We have speed boots instead of attack boots because we want to get that utility from his kit as well. Attack ring, 3 damage amulet, and of course we have an accuracy banner, which is not that great because, hey, we got a double roll on flat defense. In terms of masteries, guys, we have offense and support 3. Helm Smasher as tier 6. We went all the way down to Master Hexer just to help us with the decreased speed. And we have Evil Eye to help us drop a bit of a turn meter on the first hit for bosses, waves, when we are using the basic skill, you know. That's actually going to benefit us quite a bit. Plus the Helm Smasher just to drop in more damage. That being said, let's take in the champion for a spin, see what exactly we can do with him on the Spider Dungeon, on the Fire Knight, on Doom Tower Waves, Faction Wars, and why not? Let's give it a go in Arena as well with the current build. So I want to start by taking him on a Doom Tower Wave, for example. So he's going to bring in a lot of utility. You're going to have the decreased speed, you're going to have the stun, you're going to have the increased cooldowns, and yes, the Doom Tower Waves on hard mode, they're actually very fast, and having the decreased speed is kind of like going to level up the field a bit for you. And I have defense down, decreased attack from Stag Knight, I have Arbiter, Eurogrim to offer me some support, some healing, revive, increased attack, and whatever else is needed. And we have Artek as well to bring in another source of damage, which will kind of like rely on HP burn. He hits like a wet noodle, you know, and he's going to bring me decreased attack too. So let's see what we're going to be able to do in here. If you're struggling on waves where you're encountering like stronger champions, you can get quite a bit of value from him. Like, we just dropped that turn meter now. This is definitely not the right place, not the right enemy where you want to drop a turn meter. You know why? Because what's gonna happen here with that unkillable on the champion, we might be staying in here forever. You know how it goes. If you're constantly taking the turn meter and you're not removing that unkillable, my god, it's only gonna take like half a day, you know? Bang, look at that. We stole turn meter, we drop a stun on that Mashalet, so now we are a bit safer. We lost him, which is fine because, hey, Arbiter is here to kind of like do an amazing job, revive, give us the increased attack, Eurogrim to give us a bit of extra healing, a bit of a cleanse every now and then. Okay. Oh, we got resisted. I don't think I have enough accuracy on my Arbiter for a Doom Tower hard mode, you know. Kind of need like 300 or so accuracy in order to debuff the waves as well, to be spot on. And I don't think I have that much actually. So no matter what you're doing, just don't steal turn meter. Keep that unkillable away. We don't want to get stuck in the loop here. Okay, fairly decent damage with that defense down, increased attack. So I'm not expecting him to come in and just smack everybody, how I mentioned. I haven't even went for that sort of build with like 6k attack. That's something that I would do if I would want to prioritize just damage from the champion. But I feel like we can actually get a bit of more value out of him rather than just damage, you know. There are plenty of different damage dealers in the game that can just do damage, but we want to see more things from the champion, you know. So here we are. The next thing that we're going to do is going to be a spider run, actually. We want to do one of those, and it seems like we're not going to finish the run with him alive because I don't have the revive available, but I don't want to auto climb. So let's have a quick look at what we have on the screen. Eurogrim 270k damage, Artek 637k. I really expected him to do more damage than Tuhak, which dealt 840k damage, and Stag Knight 400k. So a wave, pretty good job, right? Like, yeah, it's not as fast as the Seer team. Let's move over to the Spider Dungeon. So we're gonna go on stage 20, guys. That's where progression kind of matters and where turn meter manipulation comes into effect much better than on stage 25 or hard mode, where it's kind of like pointless. This is the team that we're gonna have on, and yes, UDK is basically in there to kind of like support the team and ensure that the Spiderlings are not going to kill any of my my champions. Now, I do have Armiger, and that's mainly for the enemy max HP. It doesn't really bring any turn meter manipulation whatsoever. That's why I have Tuhak in here to do the job, bring in the decreased turn meter, the decreased speed, and of course we have Deacon Armstrong who's gonna do a bit of that as well. Decrease speed, bang, do some damage, kill the waves, the Spiderlings where we don't actually need them anymore. If you are running a HP burn strategy, you might not want to necessarily run a lot of strong AoE champions, because you're kind of like killing the Spiderlings instead of letting them be on basically and kind of like drop the HP of the Spider Queen with the HP burn. But because we've built the team in this way, we're gonna be more than fine, and we're gonna be able to kind of like do the job on here regardless. Just bang, and we're basically gonna end the spider pin right now. 1 minute and 1 second. We have Artak with 6.5 million damage. Of course, the main source of damage is gonna be him. Tuhak with 1.1 million damage, and Armiger with 2 million damage. And I think he hit 3 enemy max HP hits, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he only did 2, but still a pretty impressive damage all around. Let's move over to Fire Knight. We're gonna do stage 20. This is more of a progression guide, and I kind of like want to show you how to go through all these dungeons, utilize champions that will actually bring some value to the team. And Tuhak brings a lot of value for both of these dungeons. Thermiter manipulation, decreased speed, double hit on the A1 here, an AoE attack to help you to clear the waves. So a lot of utility coming from the champion for the Fire Knight. He's not gonna be great. He's not gonna be great on the Dragon, and even for the Ice Golem, yes, Thermiter manipulation, decreased speed works, but bringing in too much damage there can cost you. So I wouldn't utilize the champion on the other 2 dungeons, but definitely on these ones, you know. Let's see what else we have in here. And of course, you could use the champion for the Iron Twins Fortress progression as well, not for the very high stages. If you need a decreased speed and you don't really have better options, considering that he's Void Affinity, you will be able to put in some work for you there as well, you know. So there we go. Are we racking them? Gala Long Braids. It's been a while since I used Gala Long Braids in the Fire Knight. Something like 3 years or so. That's what I used to run back in the day. Gala Long Braids used to be in my Fire Knight team, man, because of all the multi-hits. She has very slow animations, but you know what? When you don't have many champions to get it done, you're not gonna care about time. You're just gonna wanna get the whole thing done, you know, bring in utility. So are we gonna drop the Thermiter here? Beautiful. And we're not just decreasing the Thermiter, guys. The good part is that we're actually stealing it. So that will allow Tuhak to rotate a bit faster than the rest of the champions, you know, and kind of like bring his skills on a shorter cooldown. There we go. Drop the AoE. We already had decreased speed, so he won't be able to do much with that. A double hit. That's not really going to benefit us much when we're talking about Thermiter and stuff, but will benefit us when we're dropping the shield, you know. So I feel like we're doing pretty good here as well. Not a speed run, because that's not the point of the video, but we are kind of like doing the job, you know. Okay, I wish that all the champions would be smart enough to use their basic skills on the shield, you know, or if they have multi-hits, I'm fine to be used on the shield. But so many champions, they have bad AI, and it's so hard to make the Fire Knight work. I feel like that's the case for hard mode stage 10. If the AI would be better on some of the champions, the dungeon itself wouldn't be as hard as it is, you know. So let's see, what's the total damage? So we got Gala with 800k, Stag Knight with 988k, Ferrokin with 500k, and we have Tuhak with 1.1 million damage. Smacking waves, smacking bosses, because why not? He can actually do it. And the last thing that I want to showcase in terms of PvE will actually be Faction Wars. So talking about Faction Wars, guys, we're going to run this team on stage 21. Guess what? The boss on stage 21 will actually recover HP, will steal buffs from us, and having decreased speed, having Thermiter manipulation will be absolutely massive. I'm going to make sure I'm targeting this Paragon to get him down before he's gonna dare to put that unkillable on himself and keep me in the loop, you know. There we go. We got him down. I don't have a reviver, so hopefully I'm not losing any of my champions. I do have decreased attack from Artak, so that should be fine once we're gonna get at the boss. I don't want to buff a lot because the boss will transfer all the debuffs to me and will steal all my buffs, and that's a bad business. Now that cheeky stun landed on the mob as well, which is great because that left mob is actually going to drop a provoke on my team, which we want to avoid. The other one is going to drop a leech, so the boss will get to heal back like that. We drop the decreased speed on the boss, which is nice. So now we can just crack on it and hammer the boss down, you know. I'm not even sure if my Vrask actually has full gear, and by the looks of it, I don't think he does. I'm just hoping for it, but I don't think he does actually. So there we go. More decreased speed, pretty good damage. And hopefully he's gonna come in to get that turn meter right when we need it, you know. So right now, the boss will attempt to use that A3 if we don't kill it in time. And I think we're not. Okay. So that happened. Pretty unfortunate that we didn't manage to take another turn when was needed. Okay, Rask has full gear because he's getting those extra turns. He's on relentless, and yeah, seems like we're getting the crit hits, we're getting the heals on. That's what matters with Rask as well. So right now we're gonna get a lot of debuffs from this boss, man. That's gonna be pretty nasty. So that's kind of like the main thing that you wanna have on this boss: damage and turn meter manipulation. You want a time when you're using the buffs, the debuffs, if you're struggling, which is not the case for us, but we managed to smack it pretty good. And check out the damage. Tuhak, 1 million damage, almost 1.1. Zargala, 730k. Gallic, 550k. Artax, 721k. And you might think that these champions don't have good gear. Check out Zargala. 5k attack, 275 crit damage is actually more damage in her gear than we have on him. Then we have my Gallic, and he has 4.1k attack, 240 crit damage. He's on a stun set though, so he's not a savage, but still a pretty good damage and a lot of utility from the champion in faction wars. So talking about arena, guys, I'm gonna do my best. Okay, the teams that we're fighting in here, the champions that are in arena, are pretty strong. Okay, so I don't think it's gonna be a pretty easy task. Another thing to keep in mind, I don't really recommend you guys to count on this champion as the main damage for arena, for high-end arena. Yes, using him in bronze, in tag team arena can do a bit of work. You can play around with him to use him and kind of like get some sort of value out of the champion. Don't get me wrong, that can happen too. But I really think that they are better options, you know, like in terms of DPS. So let's try to find a team that we think that we might be able to defeat. Too many +4 Necrets, too many crazy things, Yumeko. So that means that if I'm going against the Yumeko, I will kind of have to bring in a Warlord or a Necret or some other champions like that. Hegemons, that means that I need to bring in maybe my Necret, and that's kind of like killing all the fun of what I'm trying to do in here, man. Okay, you know what? We're gonna go against this team, try our luck, and do we have a Madame series? Kind of like go in and spray and pray, basically. Morto Macab. Can we deal with Morto Macab? Stone skin or no? Let's see. No stone skin. Okay, so that's actually a good thing, because what I am planning to do on Morto Macab is actually to go in with the A3. Go in with the A3, drop the stun on him if we don't kill him, but we kill him. So if we were not killing him, we were gonna drop the stun, and I was gonna be satisfied with that as well. Let's put that Duchess to sleep, don't let her revive. And let's try our AoE attack. So right now Necret protected that Duchess. I am not expecting by any means to do crazy damage on her. But what I'm gonna attempt instead is to go with the A1 and see if I can lock the skills, so maybe she's not gonna revive. Okay, maybe I'm gonna get lucky and increase that particular skill. So okay, we got resisted, unfortunately. If my HP was gonna be under 50%, I was gonna have a chance to lock all her skills. But like this was kind of like a random bullet, basically. Like try your luck, see what it takes you, basically, you know. Okay, she didn't revive, which gives me another chance. I am provoked at the moment on Tuhak, so I don't have extremely high hopes, but still not doing too bad for the moment. Okay, so that Necret right now is unprotected, finally. That's kind of like one thing that we were expecting. That Duchess is about to revive, so I'm actually gonna use this, do a bit of damage on. I'll have to, because either way she's gonna revive now, you know. That Morto is coming back. Morto's coming back to town. I am hoping that my Madame Series is gonna be able to land the defense down. I was counting on please don't freeze, but it happened, so it's fine. It's kind of like no point to go with the A3 at the moment. while Necrit... Actually, you know what? Let's try to get that Torment down, man. It almost. Was pretty close. Was pretty close. We dealt a good... a bit of damage on that Necrit. I am fighting pretty strong champions. That's the one thing that people need to kind of like understand when you're doing Arena. If I'm trying to showcase a champion, and if I'm gonna give him bad stats, not strong enough stats for the level where I'm playing, the champion is really gonna underperform, and is not a good showcase. In the end, you're gonna be like, well, that champion is crap, you know, like it's just not good, and that's just because my gear is gonna be way below the level of the people that I'm fighting, you know, and that's not making the champion justice. That's why when I'm building champions the way I'm building them because I'm building them for my own level. So people just need to kind of like learn to take everything down a notch to their own level and be like, okay, that's what's happening. I'm not gonna be able to build the champion with those stats, but hey, I'm not fighting that player either, and it's still giving me a good idea of what I can actually achieve with a champion or no. So we killed the Duchess, beautiful. I am scared about that more to Tuhak, that maybe we unlock the peril on him. I am praying that we're gonna be able to take the turn before and have that A3 available, but we don't. So I'm counting on the A1 to do enough damage to kill him. I do have defense down. Tuhak is not a tanky champion. He's just with a lot of HP, very low defense, so it's usually pretty easy to kill them. We managed to do it. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. How I mentioned, you can run Tuhak around in Arena just to play around with the turn meter manipulation, the decreased speed, drop a bit of damage. Not the best option in the game, but if you have nothing else to work with, you're gonna have to make it happen. That was all for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to smash that like, subscribe for more content, turn on all notifications to make sure you won't be missing out on any of the future videos. Plus, I really appreciate it, guys. That was all for the video. Much love, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.